Hey, this is Steven, and welcome to the channel. A few weeks ago, I posted a picture on Instagram of my new live looping pedalboard rig. And I had several comments of people asking what kind of audio interface I was using and how it was wired up and how it was connected and did I like it and what did it sound like, etc. So today I thought I would give you a live looping rig rundown. Here we go. So for a while now, the centerpiece of my live looping rig was a Boss RC300. Phenomenal loop pedal, 3 tracks, built-in effects if you want to use them, multiple inputs including mic preamps and auxiliary inputs and stereo inputs, etc., and stereo outputs and all. And it's been around for 10 years. It's phenomenal. But the more I was gigging, carrying equipment around, etc., I decided that I would look to see if there was any way I could get a smaller footprint loop rig with maybe more functionality, maybe even better audio quality, but smaller footprint, potentially reduce the number of cases I was carrying into venues and make it easier to move around. And so I set out to do that, and I ultimately landed on a new loop pedal rig that's centered around an iPhone 11 Pro Max running an iOS application called Quantiloop. It's a 4-track looper, uses any audio interface. Mine happens to be a 4-in, 4-out. I'll tell you about that in a few minutes. And it's controlled by a Morningstar MC8 MIDI Controller. And the whole thing fits in about a 17-inch square, allows me to reduce the number of cases I carry around, and it improved the audio quality and gave me another track. And so it's awesome. Let me walk you through it and kind of show you how the signal path works, how I have the MC8 controlling Quantiloop, and then I'll play through a part of a song so that you can hear what it all sounds like and how it all works. Now, everything starts with my vocal mic and my guitar. Now, I happen to play a Maton EMD6 Mini Diesel Special. That's what this is. It's a mini Maton made in Australia. It's phenomenal. The pickup system in it is incredible, but it's small and tiny and compact and allows me to bend notes and play it more like an acoustic, give me a little bit more feel to it, and I absolutely love it. Both the guitar and the vocal mic enter the pedal board into the same device. And both of them go into the top right-hand corner of the pedal board into a TC Helicon Harmony GXT. Now, that device is my vocal effects pedal. It gives me some reverb, some delay, a little bit of tone, but it also can give me harmonies. And the only way for it to know what harmony notes to put in is if, in fact, the guitar is going through to give it the key of the song. So the guitar is a simple pass-through that goes into the Harmony GXT and directly out again. And then it goes into this Spark boost pedal made by TC Electronics. That is just a clean boost, just gives me a little bit extra boost when I need it for solos or for finger picking. It's clean and it's awesome, I love it. And only takes up a little bit of space on the pedal board. From there, it goes into the HX Stomp, which is made by Line 6. It is my guitar effects pedal for everything. It does everything for me. It does everything from my clean sounds to my reverbs to my leads to overdrives to amp simulations to distortion to synthesizer effects to octaves. And it does everything for me. Coming out of the HX Stomp, it gets rerouted under the board and into an Audient Evo 8 here on the right-hand side. You can see it over here by my pinky. It is my audio interface. It is a USB-C bus-powered 4-in, 4-out digital audio interface, and it allows me a lot of flexibility. Coming out of the Evo 8, it goes directly into this standard Apple Lightning cable to USB camera adapter to give my audio signal into Quantiloop, into the iPhone. I do have a lightning connector connected to it right here so that I can power, keep the iPhone powered all the time, and it also provides power to the Evo 8 to my digital interface. My vocal mic then goes directly into the Harmony GXT, and it comes out of there and into this AB switch. The AB switch is made in Australia. I'll put a link in the description below so that you can see what that is. It's a popless, so it's a clean AB switch. The A side, that green light, sends my processed vocal through to front of house. If I hit that button, you won't hear anything. If I hit that button, it reroutes it to the looper. So you don't hear anything right now because I don't have that volume channel up. So that allows me to then take the same vocal and run it into the Evo 8 and into the loop pedal. Some looping artists will have 2 microphones, and they have a mute switch to kill the loop mic all the time. I, for simplicity's sake, just wanted to use 1 mic. And so I've got the AB switch that switches it from front of house into the looper. I then have 2 other devices. One is an SPD-20. It's a drum pad. It sits over here to my right. And it it's a Roland SPD, Handsonic SPD-20. It does 50% or so of my drum sounds when I'm not doing drums on the guitar. And it feeds directly into the Evo 8 so that it can get looped into Quantiloop. And down here on the right-hand side, you can kind of see the top of it here in the pedalboard picture is a Roland SPD-1 wave pad. It's a single pad that allows up to 12 wave sounds to be stored in it, dialed up with a dial. 99% of the time I have 1 sound dialed up on it, and it's a bass drum cymbal crash combination that I use at the end of songs to give a highlight, or to the end of a chorus, downbeat on the start of a chorus, etc. But I can do that with my foot without having to take my hands off of the guitar to hit the Handsonic. So all of that goes into the Evo 8 and feeds in through the camera adapter into the iPhone. Now, all of this is controlled by the Morningstar MC8, which is just phenomenal. I looked at all kinds of MIDI controllers to run Quantiloop. I bought multiple of them, I returned them, and ultimately landed on the MC8. It's just phenomenal. It's got 8 buttons. They're very evenly spaced. The back row is a little bit higher than the front row, so it makes it easy to activate any of the buttons, and I absolutely love it. It does everything I need it to do, and then some. I'm only using a fraction of its capabilities, and there'll be a link down in the description for the Morningstar as well. Now, the way I have the Morningstar set up is that the bottom 4 buttons, A through D, are mapped to the 4 channels, or the 4 tracks, excuse me, on Quantiloop. Now, when Quantiloop is in dub or record mode, those 4 buttons will trigger the 4 tracks, and they do, the first time you press it, it's record. Second time you press it, it goes into overdub. The third time you press it, it goes into play. Now, when the Quantiloop is in playback mode, those 4 buttons function as simply a pause button, or a mute button, if you will. And that way those 4 buttons are dedicated to the 4 tracks. That's all they're used for. Now, the top row of buttons here, the first one is a start, stop, all. It's a dedicated start, stop, all. It's the only thing it does, and that's the one that's on the red button here. And that's all it does, is start and stop everything. Whatever's triggered, if you're in playback mode, whatever is highlighted, it'll start and stop all of that. The second button over, which is labeled dub clear, that button there does multiple things. So if you tap it, it toggles between dub mode and playback mode in Quantiloop. So it's an on-off kind of switch for dub mode. If I hold that button down, it does 2 things at the same time. Number 1, it erases all 4 tracks in Quantiloop so that I can get set up for the next song. So it clears everything out. The second thing it does is it automatically controls the HX Stomp and puts it into my standard guitar song. So I could be, or sound. So I could be on a synth sound or an octave sound or an overdrive sound or whatever it is, but when I hold down that second button, it erases Quantiloop, sets up for the next song, and resets the HX Stomp back to my standard patch, which is just awesome to do that all at one time. The third button over, button G, actually what it does is it toggles, the way I have it set up, it toggles my chorus block on and off on my standard patch and my overdrive patch. Just gives me a little bit of glisten, if you will, on those patches. And if you hold that button down, you'll notice here if I hold it down, you'll notice that the HX Stomp goes into synth mode, which gives me then 3 snapshots. So it's the synth patch, gives me 3 snapshots so that I've got 3 variations of that snapshot. If I press that again, it will turn the block on and off. And if I double tap that, it brings up my overdrive patch, which gives me, again, 3 snapshots, depending on what I want to use it for. Now, the upper right corner, will toggle between my octave patch in the HX Stomp and my standard patch in the HX Stomp. Each one of these patches has 3 snapshots for various variations of the patch. So the bass has various octave patches as well. And it just toggles back and forth. If I hold this button down, it invokes the tuner so that I don't have to have a separate tuner on the pedal board. Everything is built right into the HX Stomp. The Morningstar is connected to the Line 6 HX Stomp via a standard 5-pin MIDI cable. However, in order to connect the Morningstar also to the iPhone without having to have a USB hub underneath, I opted to go with a Yamaha Bluetooth MIDI transmitter that was referred to me by Adam Searan. I'll put a link to his social media stuff in the description. Thanks, man. I appreciate the input. It's a phenomenal Bluetooth controller. There's no latency. I don't notice it at all as it controls Quantiloop. And that's how it works. No magic. Well, maybe a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play a portion of a Michael Jackson song, The Way You Make Me Feel. And it's a song that I'll play typically in a set, and I play it with just the guitar up until the last chorus, and then I kick in a full loop with overdriven guitar solo and background vocals and the whole deal. So I'm just going to play through the chorus once and then build the loop so you can see, and I've got the camera pointed at the pedal board so you can see what that's all about and see how it works. So enjoy. This is a little bit of Michael Jackson and the way in which the pedal board works. The way you make me feel, you really turn me on. You knock me off my feet now, baby. The lonely days are gone. The way you make me feel, you really turn me on. You knock me off my feet now, baby. The lonely days are gone. Hey, if you found this video helpful, hit subscribe, maybe hit that notification bell so as I post other videos, you can get notified of them. I appreciate you supporting the channel, and until next time, have a great day.